We're facing an epidemic like we've really never experienced before. You know, we knew back in 1996 with the introduction of the wonder drug OxyContin and the poor and dishonest marketing practice of that drug that we saw people dying and misusing at record numbers even early in the mid-90s. 80% of the people who are addicted were at one time legally prescribed an opioid for a pre-existing legitimate medical condition, many times by somebody that they trusted, their physician. The state of Florida at one time was home to more than 850 pill mills, and more than 90% of the opioids, the prescription opioids that were in the country, were prescribed from one of the pharmacies in the state of Florida. The power of synthetics is very clear. So fentanyl is 100 times more potent than morphine, or 50 times more potent than heroin, which is bad stuff. Carfentanil is 100 times more potent than fentanyl, which means a small amount of carfentanil in a room would kill everybody in the room. We recognize that this is not a situation of trying to make bad people good, but rather sick people well. Many of these individuals have had no criminal pasts, and they are now victims of their addiction. Sheriffs across the state are quite literally on the front line addressing the needs and providing critical life-saving support to those populations that are most vulnerable and needing it the most. When I first started in this business 27 years ago, I never thought that I would carry medicine on my belt to bring people back to life, and I think that we're doing it now in record numbers. Sheriffs are also taking a strong stance on the drug dealers. In Seminole County alone, we've charged 13 people with first-degree murder for dealing deadly doses of narcotics. So if you're out there and you're dealing drugs, you're going to be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law, while at the same time we're going to try to help those people who become dependent and addicted to these substances. Part of the process of this is changing the face of addiction. A lot of people hear about this and they think it's somebody who's living under the overpass that has been doing drugs their entire life and they don't have a family. The fact of the matter is a majority of these people, again, went for a legitimate medical condition. There's a high percentage of people who are now dependent and addicted that have military backgrounds because of military injuries. Some of the VA hospitals were heavy prescribers of opioids during the height of the epidemic. They thought they were doing the right thing and they know better now. And it's very important that people know about the Good Samaritan Law, because the Good Samaritan Law allows people to report drug use and overdose and not be held accountable criminally. And this exists because if somebody is there using illicit drugs and somebody that they're with dies as a result of the use of those drugs, we want to make sure that people feel comfortable calling 911 and not fearful that they're going to go to jail. Because in the end of the day, the greatest responsibility that we have as a civilized society is to protect and preserve human life.